us that have talked so far. So we don't have a name yet. I mean, it would be wrong to choose the name without the others, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we don't have a name yet.
No worries.
Yeah,
It's kind of fun.
a no-named group. And Julian's very close to the camera. Group 2, how was your discussion? What did you talk about? Did you come up with anything?
Yeah, we do have a plan.
Like to share it?
Didn't we hear about it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's coming along really well.
Is this part of the thing? Your project to not tell us about your project?
Not exactly.
Yeah.
But kind of. Yeah, we're telling you about it. I think we're actually describing it fairly well right now.
Are we experiencing it?
It is underway.
Interesting.
I love this.
I'd just like to point out that that was really ominous to just say it is underway and stare at the camera.
We hope you enjoy it. It's going to be a fun 4 weeks. We're really looking forward to seeing where this takes us.
Yeah, I have a question. Is the genre horror?
It should be. It should be.
Sounds like, what was that? It sounded like Project Quilter or something.
Barrett, A.
Yeah, Shoshana knows it.
I was like,
Several other people will know it.
Can I ask a question?
We talked at great length about our influences.
oh no.
That's beautiful. Oh my god.
Yes, Lara.
Yeah, does your background have anything to do with your project?
Will you be haunting a concert hall like some sort of French phantom?
I guess.
Oh my god. Barrett was an opera guy. Or was that Fairling?
No,
Both of
he
them?
was an opera guy. I think it was both of them, but he was an opera. He was like opera all the way.
Okay, Isabel's just answered my question.
Does your project involve murder?
Does it?
You guys, how do I change my background picture?
Do you have the latest version of Zoom? Otherwise, I'm sure you can't.
I probably.
You should be able to in video settings.
Go
Or
go
no,
to
no,
where it says
background-
stop
sorry.
video.
Background and filters.
Virtual background?
Yeah.
Seamus what?
This is just my go-to Zoom background during the pandemic. It can't be.
Holy shit. Oh my god, that is terrifying.
Well,
By the way, Daniel, that sounded great. Just saying.
I want to hear Guy
Beautiful.
I want to hear Guy Fieri cover the Steven Universe theme song now. With like some kind of obnoxious guitar backing.
I could learn to play guitar for this.
Question for you, Dan. Will there be any covfefe involved?
Julie, do you want to take that one?
Sorry, I'm still.
Oh God.
Did I do it? Wait.
Wait, that looks great. Yeah,
Yes,
looks-
yes,
this looks
you've
great.
done it. You've done it.
Done it. Okay. What was the question? What was the question?
Will there be any Kofefe involved?
Certainly. Certainly, Kofefe is a thing that could be involved.
Okay, well, I don't see this train going anywhere different for the time
Oh
being.
my god, which melody was it?
Just pick us.
Pick up the Barrett book and look it up.
Project was designed to piss me off. What? Kaylin, what do you say?
Oh no, pick up the book and look through. It's one of the earlier ones, but I don't remember which one.
I
Oh.
know.
Double read cult music.
Daniel, stop the mystery! Ah!
You'll find it easily enough. Well, if you want another one, I mean,
More Barrett, more Barrett.
that one's really long.
I know that one. Okay, that was number 6, kind of.
Is everything just going to be kind of something that we always know?
Is everything already not kind of something?
Okay. Well, so this is great. I love this. I'm very into it. We might ask
I
you
said it's driving me crazy.
coming with your milestones, just so we know a little bit about how we might present this for the final presentation.
That is the real question.
We're
I mean,
working on
what
that.
isn't a milestone?
Oh no.
Amanda, don't feed them.
I think we've decided.
I'm gonna have to write that down.
Oh my god, it
James.
saves your body as a train. My god.
That is
Your
real
body is a train.
trippy.
What is a milestone anyway?
What isn't a milestone?
Okay, let's move on.
Are
to
there in fact stones which aren't milestones?
They could be inch stones,
Kilometer stones?
millimeter
Is that what it
stones.
is in Canada?
Yeah, we don't have miles here.
Rolling Stones?
Rolling stone.
Can we
Yeah.
move?
Okay, can we move on to the next?
Kidney
can't move on.
stones.
So milestones are the opposite of rolling stones.
So yeah, Lara's group.
Tonsil stones?
We like trains. This is the Numtot division of Z-Fest. Someone else please go.
We've been talking about. Oh dear, something's going on. Oh Jesus! This place has everything.
Oh, Peter's expression is beautiful right now.
Okay, so somebody mute themselves. Okay, yeah. So we are either the vague narrative thing. We've been talking a lot about travel and displacement, and at this point, I think we're all just going to go do a lot of research and try to find interesting art of various sorts on that precise topic. Dear God, wow. Wow. Let me see. Where's our Google Doc?
One thing is 2 cities, both alike in name.
Oh, that's true. London, England, and
Tale
London,
of two
Ontario.
Yes.
Various, yeah, I don't know. We don't have any central concept yet, just...
I mean, we were thinking about non-linear narratives, having narratives that are happening at the same time, doing something with trains and the places we are in or aren't in. And we're gonna try to come up with material by Sunday and like actually start putting something together. And then we're also going to try to finish recording of whatever we are doing by a week before the thing is due.
Is it the medium's going to be mostly audio narrative?
Well, also like pictures and video clips. Video clips being more centered towards where we are now versus pictures being more like a past thing.
Interesting. Okay. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should all take a second to appreciate Seamus's background.
Very cute.
Yeah, most of our talks have been about subway stations and their many wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So many rats. So many memories. Oh.
Smells?
Oh,
If you find
you
a
know
way to
who
put smells into your project, I will be very impressed.
you know who
Well, actually,
really likes the New York subway is Esteri. She really likes it because of the rats.
Oh, fair.
She can smell them and she can see them, and
New York
she makes
Subway
the
rats
most.
bring pizza too.
Oh yeah.
Well, I mean,
Pizza
the thing
rat.
is, like, anything that is like small enough to be like rat shaped and sized that like moves like a rat and smells like a rat is extremely interesting and must be chased. But she's in a bag because New
That's
York
good.
City subway,
That's
so
good.
she just like she's just in the bag and screams.
Oh.
Or the people who were not intimately involved with the summer.
It is
Sorry,
literally noises like that.
Laura's dog, who was part of a piece from the summer.
That
and
context
also
is
the
good.
unofficial mascot, or official mascot, of Z-Fest summer.
Yes. Yes.
That's great. You should be aware there's a project where someone recorded the super audible frequencies of rat conversations in the New York subway and then pitched them down.
Hot
Oh.
damn.
So
That sounds terrifying.
it is
fun.
That sounds cool. My boyfriend's sister would be all over that because she owns 7 rats. She's a crazy rat lady.
Rats
Can
are
I,
great.
can I briefly read a tweet to everyone about subway rats? It's one of my favorites.
Please do.
This is, I tried to make it my background, but it wouldn't fit since it's longer than my background is. Subway rat made eye contact with me and said, "Join us. When the train comes, we slide under the tracks and feel it rumble over us like a warm thunderstorm. We live forever and we love to live." I said, "No, thank you. I am too large." He turned away from me. I cried.
I love that. Oh my god.
That's amazing.
Can someone
so
set that to
sad.
music? Oh my god.
Can we?
I mean, I guess another thing we did is we looked up texts and we found some very hilarious haikus. Or I
Yes.
found some very hilarious haikus.
But I think memory is probably going to be a major thing, and maybe like
Yeah.
the how do you say, the contrast between memory and the reality when you come back.
Yeah. For
Oh,
instance.
do you know Marcel Proust?
Ah, yes.
Oh my god.
Madeline's dipped in lime blossom tea and so on.
Yeah. For
Incidentally,
instance,
I was introduced to Proust via Monty Python.
Okay.
I feel like he wouldn't mind. Somehow. Also,
Brewster the
here's
subway rat man.
yes, the summarized Proust
Yes.
competition.
Okay, we have 2 more groups. Does either group 1 or group 5 want to talk a little bit about their project?
Could talk on behalf of Group 5 quick.
Great.
Basically, we are planning to do a kind of a multimedia generalization of the game Foldy Foldy Draw Draw, where you alternate text and drawing, playing off of the previous thing, and it's we're basically the project, so as conceived, is we're coming up with a rule set for this kind of generalized version of it, and then going to play test that a little and then follow it to produce something that involves like trying a number of different media types and combine it all together in the end. Does that seem like a decent summary of it, y'all?
That sounds great. I accidentally joined your Slack channel earlier and then realized that it was your group's Slack channel, and so I left. I apologize for that.
It's not a Slack channel where we simply are planning on playing full D draw, or although in some version we are doing that. And yeah, we were talking a lot about how we want this game to also be kind of a communal offering of sorts, so that anyone can come into this PDF instructional guide. Again, the form that will take will evolve in the next week or so. But like a group of however many people can come into this instruction guide and actually start generating their own material. And so thinking about our presentation not necessarily as like a one-off performance, but rather an iteration of that larger structure that we are trying to create for anyone to be able to come into. So yeah. Did I miss anything? Seamus? Alexa, Seamus? Anyone? Nothing?
There was something I was about to say. Oh yeah, just milestones that hope that by a week from now, we hope to have a PDF of the form that we will use, like the game rules that we will use
The
for
how to play.
iterations of the how to play, our one-page how to play. And we hope to have done a little test run of it just to see if we want to make any revisions to the how to play, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, next week Sunday meeting should be exciting based on what we are planning. But yes, I forgot if Peter said what it was already.
Yeah, we're planning on talk about game music next week, so this is right up his alley.
Oh, like Cobra stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh right, Cobra. We could have listed that as an influence, y'all. I'll put it on the document. I forgot about Cobra. That's like the most obvious example.
Yeah. Does anybody here actually like has anybody learned it or like know much about it?
I think I have a score lying around somewhere in like JPEG form.
Like that's kind of all there is.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't actually tell you how to play.
I don't know.
This is great. Yeah, I because I learned it for like one class one time, and that's like not nearly enough. But like I'm still like very excited to like talk about it. Yeah. Yes. I'm venomous snakes. Okay, it's very fun. It'll be very fun. But like I was hoping what we'd do is like talk about that and like maybe some other examples, and then like maybe consider like trying to create something in a virtual space that would be like musical and game related. But we still have to plan it, so I probably shouldn't be talking about it. Sorry, the chat was very distracting.
I think we'll get to the group one in a second. I just want to say, if you are making any notes based on the questions we listed, particularly the milestone stuff, if you feel comfortable sharing it with Shoshana and I, we would love to just see all your thoughts on that. And I think we'll ask for like a milestones thing written out probably by the end of this week. So just keep that in the back of your minds as you work on stuff. But yeah, that sounds great. Group 5, or Foldy Draw, sorry. Is that the name of
Is that the name of your group?
It's the name of the Slack channel.
Pending title.
Pending title. Patent pending. Cool. Group 1.
Can Slack channels be renamed?
I don't know.
Okay, we haven't come up with a group name yet because not all of us were here today, but
They can be renamed.
oh, okay, good. Thanks. So our group is Stacy, Caitlin, Amanda, Ari, and I. Ari wasn't here today, so we unfortunately couldn't hear what her thoughts were, but we were able to meet yesterday for a time, although not all of us were there the whole time. We talked about our influences, which include various things such as Kate Soper, the GOAT, Stephen Sondheim, memes and video games, musicals, Radiohead, Piazzolla, Bartok, Vaporwave, Britten, Bach, and Ravel, stuff like that. That's a palette. We're thinking of doing something narrative. Right now, it's unclear what the topic is. Some things we've been thinking about are things like fairy tales, things like love, or flowers, or a Dali painting, or something like that. And we're thinking of, there's a sort of axis we can go across, because there are 5 of us, and we have different levels of experience in different instrumental things and different levels of experience writing stuff or composing stuff. So things are a little fuzzy, but there's a long axis we could go across. On one end, we could create one long overarching story that unfolds over 5 parts, or perhaps just 5 vignettes that are vaguely related in some way. Both of these are attractive and interesting ideas. We do know that we'll probably have 5 movements that will share musical material and motivic material along the way, each of which will be helmed by one person, but will all contribute elements to each other. And how are we going to present this? Probably a video. Caitlin has some very cool technological prowess because she is a sciencey person, and science is cool. The question that we want to think about is what can be done in the video medium online that we can't use in another? So we're thinking about this. Some milestones that we have to think about are, well, we have to think of a narrative. We're hoping to have like a draft or maybe a set of drafts by next week. We want to determine what kind of musical and motivic stuff we want to share amongst ourselves. We have to compose stuff, we have to record stuff, and then to make a video. That's where we're at. Nothing extremely humorous, unfortunately, but I think it'll be cool. I'm very excited. Sorry, I talked a bunch. Do you guys have anything that I forgot?
Sounds good.
Some themes we were talking about were love, deal with the devil, kindness, flowers.
Are we writing an opera? I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
An opera without the singing.
Yeah.
Opera with music, but no singing.
Opera.
That sounds great. I kind of just want like a gif of Shannon chanting opera. I feel like that's
Isn't that the person with the talk show who was in the movie about never mind.
I get what you're trying to get at, but I think
She did the movie with like the baby who comes back to life as a ghost.
never mind. I lost you completely.
Oh shit! I just
Never
thought
mind.
of the Futurama like Deal with the Devil episode.
Oh, that was great. I love that.
Oh, okay. Okay. Juices are flowing.
great. Cool. Well, okay. I guess that's it for today. So we have Luke and Amelia scheduled. Definitely start thinking about things to talk about with them. Isaac, we're figuring out what Isaac is gonna do. It sounds like it would be helpful for maybe have them talk about some video stuff if they feel comfortable about that, or interspersing audio with video and the visual medium, and maybe some spaces online where you can put videos out or interesting examples of that.
Do any of you have specific tech, like stuff that you think Isaac could help with that we might not realize yet?
I would like to know a lot more about video software, to be honest. Like what's out there, what's accessible, what's cheap, what's free, because I don't know all that much.
To Seamus' question, there are 3 more. I just scheduled 3 more Luke workshops.
Oh, okay. I checked at the start of the meeting on the schedule page and it wasn't there.
Yeah, they've been put in since then.
Hey, thanks.
Yeah, I think that like the first like this week and next week are like definitely for sure. But we're gonna keep like seeing what people need, and because like also if any of your groups need sort of like more individualized meetings with either Luke or Amelia, that could be arranged. And like it's possible that would make sense for Isaac too. Not entirely sure. It kind of sounds like the projects are a little less techy than I was kind of expecting. Totally not a problem.
Yeah.
Just an
We'll see.
interest.
I'm sure Isaac will have some good advice anyway. It might turn into just like workshopping space similar to Luke and Amelia in the later weeks, where you can just bring specific questions and just like spend 20 minutes with Isaac, like troubleshooting stuff. But yeah.
Are you looking for topics still?
Yeah, if you have topics.
I'm interested in, on a very basic level, just creating beats from scratch. What I mean is just like, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm interested in using software that can just like create music like with like instruments and like VSTs or whatever, I don't know. And like, oh, this is the drum track where you put notes in here and this is where you put the notes in for this thingy. Because I've never actually known how to do that, but it sounds like fun.
Julian, do you mean like MIDI instrument kind of thing?
Maybe? Kind of like
It's
FL Studio, which
if you
people
have
do.
Logic or FL Studio, then that's pretty straightforward.
Okay, cool.
Noted.
We have never done any of that, so.
I think that is. I imagine that Peter noted it somewhere.
I did note it.
Great.
It has been noted.
There isn't a free one, is there?
GarageBand you can do that with. I don't know if you have a Mac or not.
I've got a Windows.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know a free version.
GarageBand is like the free trial version of Logic.
It's like really
90 days, eh? But like you could get that working in Macs too, actually.
I'm just thinking about creating.
You can, if you want, write a Hall sequencer in Max.
That sounds like
And
maximum
Excel is-
difficulty.
And Excel is Turing
don't.
complete. Yes.
Actually, Julian, there's a Max patch made by Christina Warren that I might still have my hands on that I could send to you, where it samples a 4-second input file and it turns it into a sequence. So you can sing like a sweep up and it'll take a second sample or a sample at each second in a 4-second file. But yeah. Cool. Anybody else have any thoughts or concerns or hopes or dreams or fears? Random question: if we bought everyone a gavel, would you find a use for that?
What?
Just
like the whackering gavel, like for judges?
I feel
You
like
could make a whole lot of noise during Zoom calls. Yeah.
I want to have
I used to have a legit gavel, and I brought it to school in like the 6th grade for some reason as a prop, and I never got it back, and I have always been mad about it.
Was that
That is really unfortunate.
This can be your gavel.
Objection.
I'm into that. A new gavel. Anywho.
On Zoom, just like now, I heard the 4th of like that really strongly for some reason.
Can we
Yeah,
open
there's a
breakout
speaker
rooms?
in there too.
I know the meeting's going to be over, but I wanted to ask my group another thing. Can we just open the breakout rooms again for as like an optional thing in case we want to talk about something?
Sure.
Julian loves optional breakout rooms. If you haven't,
That's
we also
true.
do it. We
You
also
can
do
go
that,
if you
but
want, but you don't have to.
so I'll
Oh my
join it
gosh,
later.
that time when you had a meeting like that and you explained it to literally every person who walked
I just
in.
want to like talk about scheduling with my group. But yeah.
I think one person from every group should go to a breakout room.
I love it when we have 3 empty breakout rooms here in Z-Fest.
Right. Tabes, do you want to go to breakout room or do you not want to go to breakout room?
Do we have anything else to talk about right now?
I don't know.
Julian, have your group is in your
Probably.
room.
Oh, they went to the. All right, I'll see you later. Thanks, all.
in the breakout rooms. This is so fast.
I guess we could disappear to our breakout room and see if
Let's
there's anything
disappear.
interesting to discuss.
Yes.
All right. Farewell.
This is so goofy.
This is so goofy.
Why is everyone going to breakout
This
rooms?
is so weird.
Dan, Julie's in your room.
I know. I went to the room
Wait, no,
because
she's back.
I thought Isabel was there.
Did
But she
just
already
leave?
had to go. She already had to go.
Wait, so okay, Dan and Julie. I feel like it. So what it feels like is that if I asked a good enough question, it would prompt a good enough response. But it also feels like no matter what I ask, it'll prompt the same response. And if it's the second one, then
I figured out which Barrett it was. It was number 7.
It was.
Sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out if my people are going to the breakout room because I don't want to go there.
I
I
think
don't
that'd
think
be
they're there.
I don't think anyone's there, Ahmed.
Oh, okay. Well,
What?
We
What's
okay.
the
We kicked
background?
around. It's the
What-
Royal Albert Hall.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure I used that exact same background for a theater presentation about
Yeah.
something that I made like in high school. Anyways, neither here nor there. But I appreciate you all, and I will see you whenever I see you.
Bye bye,
With
Ahmed.
that,
Bye.
I bid you adieu.
Adieu. Okay, so does it have anything to do with color?
It could. So we kicked around a bunch of ideas. We didn't actually talk about color, but now we're gonna have to.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that gives me
Okay.
a lot of information.
Now we're gonna have to. And in
That's
fact,
great.
I'm gonna put that down on my notes here,
Indeed.
and I'll put it in the group message.
Indeed.
So like if I bring up anything, would you?
I think I spell that differently from you, though.
You do.
That Canada? Does Canada do that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Canada does that.
You should know that.
I feel like I
You
should
lived
know
here,
that.
but you lived in Montreal. Montreal's like the Canada of Canada.
The Canada of Canada?
I like that a
I
lot.
haven't noticed the U's everywhere. Like every once in a while, I guess.
Favorite.
How do you spell theater, or do you use both?
We use both.
Okay.
And
And one-
theater, RE is a place where you would have a performance, and ER is a place where you would have a war.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait, a place where you have a war?
a war theater.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think.
I thought the second one, ER, right, is the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, ER is the war.
I thought that's also just like theater, like.
Or maybe
Plays and
theater
Concept.
is the act, is the performance, and a theater with an ER.
It's a place.
Why do I say the word and
Oh my
not
God.
say which spelling I'm talking about when we're talking about
Theater,
spellings? I just assume you know.
God, the dog is so cute.
Yeah.
That was just such a like a dramatic like. I don't. I also just like love that you're like lying down in the middle of this hall. Like it just was great.
I am
Man.
so intrigued by this project. I am like
I know.
so into it.
She is bugging me for dinner. That's what she thinks she's getting right now.
So we kicked around a bunch of ideas, and we had the idea that we wanted to do something more interactive. And how would we do an interactive project that had to be delivered online? Well, the only real way is to start taking ideas in advance, right? So then the logical step from that is to say we're going to start the performance in advance. So the performance is running, and everything we do and say, including talking about the performance, is part of the performance.
I fucking love this.
But we don't. I mean, like that's as far as we've gotten. We have a bunch of notes written down, but like how the structure of it is going to work, how we're going to bring it to some kind of a conclusion on presentation day, like,
This
and
is
how
great.
we're going to involve outsiders, like how we're going to bring in encourage contribution from outsiders, and also how we're going to make it accessible to people who are seeing it for the first time on presentation day. All of those things still have to be decided.
Yeah, but you're starting with the theory of it all.
But it's definitely like about how, when you're saying like if I ask a good enough question, I'll prompt a good enough response. But I feel like I'm going to get the same response anyway. Yes, it's about how we respond to prompts.
Ooh.
But so like it's interactive enough at this point where no matter what I ask you or inquire about the project, it will inevitably be a part of the project.
I would like anything that, yes, anything that captures our imagination at this. I mean, that's the same with any group. If you say the right thing to any group right now and it captures their imagination, it will be part of the project.
But you're making it open enough so that anything that is said, it's like the group, like you're not picking and choosing.
We're doing this on purpose. Yes, we're not picking and choosing.
So if I say, like, if I ask the question of your project about horses.
Yeah, now we're going to have to do a project about horses.
Okay, great.
I guess so. Then my question is, like, as someone who writes poetry, should I be composing things off of some of these prompts, written wise?
Why not? That's a great idea. Yes. And and I'm thinking,
and I can use a lot of the text as found poetry.
Well, yeah, you were talking about found poetry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But then composing my own things off of that kind of.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
This is so exciting.
Because like the run up, like this is going to run for a few weeks. Like not everything, we're not going to respond to every single thing right in the moment. Some things we're going to respond to the next week.
Mm-hmm.
Or respond to once in the beginning and then come back to on the last day.
Now, is there anything that one of your group members could put forth to the group as part of the project that another group member would say, I don't feel like this is part of the project?
What do you think? We got to have a way for people to not be put in situations where they're uncomfortable.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. I was not trying to get to that. That's a good thing to think about. What I was more trying to get to is, can I ask if this project involves me being part of the group creating the project?
You just want to be in the group?
I'm asking the question to the group to see.
Yeah. I think the audience. Okay, so we wanted to, as well as doing something interactive, we wanted to confront traditional ideas about the relationship of the artist to the community they serve. That was actually how it was. Isabel mentioning that got us down this whole path. So that's got to be built in right from the beginning. That means there is crossover between the artist and the community they serve, which means that everyone actually is an artist. So, yes, you are part of the group.
What if can I decide that I'm not an artist?
Do you want to leave the meeting?
So just by
you can turn your camera off. You don't have to respond.
I'm an artist. See,
but I don't think you can decide. I don't think anyone can decide they're not an artist. This is my personal belief, and I'm not obliging anyone to go along with it. But I have it as a.
I dropped my pencil.
Uh-oh. Are you okay?
Yes, my phone fell. I dropped my writing utensil. I had to find another one.
Okay.
Okay.
I believe that everyone is an artist, and that you can't not be an artist.
I had this conversation with someone a few months ago where I was claiming that everyone was a composer.
Is it me?
To me, it made sense. No, it was not to you. And they responded, well, I don't identify as being a composer. And I felt like that was the strongest argument against it. And therefore, abstracting that to being...
Was it not me? We literally had that conversation.
I'm thinking of someone else. I'm sure we've had that conversation.
I would say it's going to have to depend how you define composer. Like, you could use composer to say, this is the word composer to say, this is the kind of art that I do. So, like, I don't identify as a composer.
I don't either.
Yeah. I don't call myself a composer. It's not part of my brand. But
So composer and artists are much different words to you.
yeah, I would say that composer is strictly a subset of artist.
Mhm.
You're actually excluding
Specifically a
yourself from
creator.
some kinds of art if you say you're a composer.
See, I think every artist exists on the spectrum of composition. Like as an artist, you either choose to compose or not, but you're like if you're not choosing to compose, like you're still existing on the spectrum of composition.
Yeah, because like how do you fall on the like interpretation question, Dan? Like if you're playing a Barrett on the English horn, like you're interpreting something and you're doing it, you're kind of recomposing it for a different instrument.
You are. No, totally.
Kind of.
Yeah. I would still push back against someone calling
Also,
me a
you
composer.
wrote a whole piece for the first performance.
Well, yeah, I wanted to do something that I didn't do. That was the prompt that you gave us.
Yeah. But you don't identify as a composer.
Yeah, that's fine.
So therefore, you're not one. So if I don't identify as an artist, therefore I'm not an
Look,
artist.
if you have a one night stand with someone, it doesn't make you straight or gay.
Whoa, that is not what I would have used to bring into this conversation. But
Here,
it's
here.
a really good point.
Like
Here,
it's
here.
just I just spent 1 week playing at being a composer.
Oh, but for that week, so you would call yourself
I can turn back from that.
You
Really,
also
I can
say,
stop
like, you
anytime
have
I want.
composed, but don't identify as a composer.
Sorry?
You can say you have composed. It doesn't mean that you are a composer.
Sure.
Yeah.
Kind of just like it's like if I stopped playing the oboe in 5 years, I wouldn't describe myself as an oboist.
I do not describe myself as an oboist. I used to play oboe.
Really?
Yes. Yes. Yep. So I also used to play saxophone. I'm not a saxophone player. I mean, I played those instruments from 5th grade into college.
Yeah.
So.
But so what you're saying is that there's an element of time where if you are doing something for long enough, then you might consider yourself being that thing, or if you put something away for long enough, then you might lose that definition of yourself.
Well, identity is flexible.
Mhm. However, you know what's so interesting? I wrote, okay, I am a poet. I do identify as that. But there was about 10 years where I almost wrote nothing. I mean, there was like maybe 2 or 3 poems over the course of 10 years. Yet I still identified as a poet.
Yeah. Like that makes a lot of sense to me. Which like I feel like you could easily argue then that you could also conceivably call yourself an oboist, even though you might not feel like one. Which is the point. But
yeah.
Like if you have done anything at least once, then you are perhaps that thing.
I am also a martial artist, and I will always be a black belt. That black belt never leaves me.
That is true. That is an interesting, like, I don't know, I guess just like cultural practice in martial arts.
Yeah, I got my black belt in the 5th grade.
You know, okay, that's cool. This makes me think of a thing. When you immigrate to Canada, because I wasn't born Canadian, when you immigrate to Canada, and eventually you become a citizen, you get a citizenship document, which does not have the date on it.
We're always a citizen?
Because once you become a citizen, there's no distinction here. I mean, US isn't exactly the same in this. There's no distinction between people who acquired it at birth or people who acquired it later.
Like that's a semantic thing though, right? Because
I think that's deeply part of the way people develop identities and what it is to live in a Western country, because everyone is an immigrant.
Mm-hmm. Most definitely.
some people are immigrants and some people are colonizers.
Yeah.
Damn straight.
This is great. I'm very excited to see where this project goes. Like if everything is part of it, then you're probably gonna, oh, we're still recording this. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be like, oh, I can't believe I said that.
Yeah. Like you probably should record most of what you talk about, right? It's like most thoughts that you feel capable of recording, you should try to record.
Yeah, I think we're all taking notes
Mm-hmm.
in our own particular manner.
What is the name of your dog?
Rosie. She may or may not know that her name is Rosie because I call her Bubby. Bubby. Yep.
I was supposed to go to a phone bank last night that was called Calling Our Bubbies for Biden. But I didn't end up going.
That's awesome.
How many people have live bubbies at this point? We're going to be calling them. That bubby would totally be voting for Biden.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. Well,
I made myself nails out of clay.
what?
Those look great.
They do.
I do my own dip powder nails. The boys will have no idea what that means, but I do them myself.
I don't really know what that means either, but I have an
They
idea.
look cool.
They're like
What do you do?
acrylics, except they are made by like painting it on and then dipping it into a powder. And then the powder hardens into like a fake nail.
Oh.
So it's
Oh,
like
cool.
salon stuff. And I've been doing it myself for a long time, but it came in really handy for COVID because I can't exist in the world without fake nails.
Do you have to polish them after to get it smooth?
No, it comes out the color that the powder is.
So the powder the acrylic dries smooth
Yeah.
and glossy and gets colored by that's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's really great. Yeah, no, my natural nails are too thin to even like exist in the world with them.
Oh.
I also worked in fine jewelry for 10 years, so I had to have fake nails to like do clasps every day.
Oh.
And so jewelry is also my side hustle, so I still need the nails for clasps. Anyway.
You make it?
No, I flip it, I find it, I buy it, and I sell it for more.
Look at that.
It's great.
All right.
I just sold a piece. That I bought for $50. I sold it for $650.
Damn.
Wow.
Wait, so you like find something that's like
Here I am trying
more
to play
valuable,
oboe like a sucker.
right?
That's a
So you
great
find
side
something
hustle.
that's like worth more than it's being sold for, or you like fix it up?
It's just worth more than it's being sold for.
Damn.
Yep.
I feel like that must be part of the project, right? Selling jewelry.
Selling jewelry.
Or
Oh, it's gonna have
just
to be.
just no, it already is that. You're taking
It is.
like
It is in
things that
fact.
people think are mundane interactions and making it into
Yeah.
art.
Mm-hmm. I do have a jeweled pen in front of me. It's like a
Can I buy that off of you?
you can. It says New York on it. It says New York.
Yeah, how much does this cost and how much did you buy it for?
I bought it for $5. I would sell it for 10.
Great.
But half the time I fund my own jewelry habit with my, whatever.
That is the danger.
Yeah, because I buy things to resell because I like it and I know it will. If I like it, I know it's gonna sell. And then I'm like, wait a second, I like this too much. I can't sell I really didn't. I honestly did not want to sell the thing for $650. But like, so I price it at a price that I'm like, okay, I can't say no to that price. They're gonna take it off my wrist. I don't care. And $650 was that price. So I was like, okay, bye.
That's like a good strategy as a seller, though. It's like high enough so that, or like set it higher than you think anyone would actually pay for it, and then if someone actually bites, then you're like, fine, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess they want it more than I do.
Yeah, right. Or they just have more disposable income than I do.
True. Who has $650 for your jewelry right now?
Oh my god. I mean, like when I actually worked in fine jewelry. So there was a point in time when there were contests that designers would put up. I worked at Neiman Marcus, so these were like high end designers. And if you sold a certain amount of their product, they would give you a certain percentage back in free jewelry. So I was covered head to toe in this jewelry. And these rich people would walk in. They would start talking down to me like I'm like their servant. And then they'd start looking at the jewelry I was wearing. And it was palpable the moment they realized I was one of them.
Weird.
Not one of them. Not one of them at all. Not at all.
So what you're saying is, wear fancy enough shit, people will treat you better.
Yeah.
I hate the world.
Enough shit.
Oh, the people who wear similar stuff will treat you better.
Yeah,
That's true.
exactly.
That's true.
Exactly. I'm gonna change my location. I need to plug my computer in. Here we go.
Changing my nail color.
Is part of this project staying on Zoom for the duration of the next week? No.
Do we have to stay on Zoom the whole time? I was once kicking around an idea for a Twitch project where you'd have to stay on Twitch the whole time for the entirety.
Oh. Was this like a couple days ago? Because I feel like I remember hearing about this.
Yeah, it was it might have been when we were talking. It might have been in a group chat.
I saw
that would be fun.
Someone
do
in
that sometime.
College do a surveillance thing like that where they live streamed their bed view in their dorm room for 3 days straight. Oh, wow. It was a lot.
What do you mean it was a lot?
Like I didn't watch all of it, but like you could just tune into them in the middle of the night and just watch them sleep.
So nothing exciting happened. That's what you're saying.
Well, that was how Twitch got started, because it was Justin.tv. And there was this guy that just broadcast his whole life.
Which is cool.
In like the early days of streaming. It was like 2007.
Oh, that's a lot before Twitch started.
It was definitely before we moved back from Toronto.
Hello?
Hey, Julian.
What's up? You know, our meeting's still streaming.
Our meeting is still streaming, yeah.
I can say whatever I want.
You can say whatever you want, and it'll be
Hi,
on
everybody.
YouTube. And all of our audience on YouTube is
Don't forget to listen to Fanny Hensel's piece Das Jahr for solo piano.
When is your next stream?
I stream on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Oh.
So Monday at 9 o'clock. But those are special. Like those aren't special events. Like that's just whatever. So.
I tuned in that one time.
I saw it.
But then it crashed.
Oh. Well.
It like broke and it wouldn't let me back in. So.
What?
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
that's
probably
too
my
bad.
computer.
That's too bad.
Like I don't think it was on your end. I don't know.
I don't think it was on mine because it seems like people are still commenting and stuff. But that's okay. I'm about to upload it to YouTube, the piece. So, but yeah.
Stuff I saw was fun. It was cool.
The whole piece got premiered. People enjoy. I thought people would think it was like really scary and not like it, but people liked it, so that was nice. I'm happy with it. So what was up with that whole thing with the oboe and the English horn and the opera house?
How do we respond to this?
That's a good question.
I think
What was
I feel
up
like-
with that whole thing?
I simultaneously learned everything and nothing about your project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's right, Julian.
Yeah,
You did. So we have the idea that our project is our performance has already started. And we're going to
Okay.
interact with our audience over the next 4 weeks. And you are part of the audience, whether you like it or not. And you're also part of the performance.
Have you ever considered going on Twitch?
I have actually streamed on Twitch.
Wait, what? Really?
Yes.
Oh, I'm gonna follow you. You're Dan Obo, right?
I haven't streamed for years.
No.
I went on Twitch and made I did a thing for a while when I would go on Twitch and make oboe reads.
Okay, cool.
I
Why?
only did a couple. Cause it's about the banter.
So
Actually, do you know?
People turn up and like a few people would come and hang out. It's a good
Wait,
hangout.
do you know Eric Heedbitter?
No.
He's the bassoonist in a Fifth House ensemble.
No.
And I don't even, he was doing like some video game stuff on Twitch, but he would just like randomly live stream on Facebook at the beginning of the pandemic a lot. Like sometimes it was like randomly, he would be like, I'm gonna live stream my roommate while he's not looking, and he makes an egg. And sometimes it would be like, I need to like gouge Kane or something and like answer questions, and sometimes he would drink. It was great. He's really weird.
Yeah. No, I gouged Kane and I answered questions and talked about music and
I gouged a lot of Kane during the first iteration of E-Fest.
Are you in Blankapalooza?
What?
There's a group that organizes Zoom meetings to go and make reads.
Oh,
And they just hang out.
that's nice.
And there's like some like pro read makers in that there's the organizer is a person who sells thousands of bassoon reads.
Oh wow.
There was a bassoonist on Twitch for a while. Like I saw a bassoonist and like he would just like play like various bassoon etudes and stuff and sometimes make reads and make funny noises.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the greatest stream because, well, first of all, classical is very small on Twitch, right? Because, but well, which is a good and a bad thing. It's bad because it's like, oh, it's like too bad there aren't really classical,
Well,
but
it's
also
a small part of the industry.
yeah. And also like I can't find that many good what?
Could I do something writing related on Twitch? Like,
Oh,
You can do anything.
Oh, people write poetry on Twitch.
You can do
Yeah,
anything really. Like there's so it is mainly for video games, but there are categories for like music, cooking, science and technology, just chatting, stuff like that. I know of a cooking streamer called Cooking Without Looking. She's completely blind, and she's a cooking stream where she cooks. It's very cool.
I think I've seen little clips of her.
And she is like roommates with a really good classical pianist who streams classical piano, which is really fun. Anyway, classical is small on Twitch, and it's sad because not only because sad, but also because I can't find that many like good classical streams when I want to. There's only like maybe 5 to 10 classical piano streams that I thought were good or less. Most of the streams in music are either like, I would say fall into 3 things, either like EDM and DJ stuff, like to dance to, you put it on in the background or watch. Or it's like singer-songwriter or Broadway types, like people who are singing and playing the piano or guitar or ukulele. Or it's like video game music covers and stuff like that. I try to, but the good news is like, because there's so few classical streamers, it means like I'm one of the classical pianists on Twitch, which is very nice because then it's like,
I
Good
mostly made
audience.
reads while I was listening to your stream. I
What?
didn't
What is-
watch. I was mostly working. I just
that's
left
great,
your stream
you
on
know?
while I was making reads, and it was
Like-
actually good. You do a great radio show. If there were still radio hosts, if there was still radio, you'd be a good radio host.
yeah, it's lots of fun because it's like a radio show where you like are also playing the music and talking to the people who are listening. There's a chat which is very robust, and you can just be like, wow, clap, 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 or wow, that sounded hard, or wow, that was a terrible page turn, So
Nice.
sorry, Shoshana, were you gonna say something?
If you're streaming every like 3 times a week, I guess that's like. Is that also that's also classical? Like, do you play new stuff every week?
So I have like a song list that people can like request songs from, Or like on mine, I let people send me sheet music to sight read because I'm a fairly good sight reader. And I try to learn new music though, so I'm not always playing the same songs. Yeah. So I learned Hensel's Year, for example, for the stream.
So
And, like,
how many people do you usually get?
Currently it says I have 14 average viewers
Not
over
bad.
the last month. Yeah, which is pretty good.
And are you trying to like make money? Or something?
That'd be nice, but I don't make a lot of money off of it. So maybe I think I'm trying to keep it up. Maybe like I think if you just keep, like consistently go at it, like people will like eventually come. So
You'd need to have hundreds of people.
yeah, you need to have a lot of people in order to like. So there's this thing called partner on this website, so which is like Twitch officially recognizes you, like, oh, you're really cool, and like we'll support you, like blah blah blah. But the threshold to even be considered for partner is 75 average viewers. That's like a lot. So far, no classical. There are no classical streamer partners. There's one guy who I think almost made it, but then he is kind of, I think, getting busy with other stuff.
How is it organized? If you like go to the website, could you just scroll through like random?
Yeah.
Things?
So I'll put a link in chat right now. This is the music directory. So you can just like see like all the different music streams going on. Twitch is it's very different from YouTube in terms of how the algorithms work. Usually the default is just to sort by top viewers, which is bad, right? Because then you barely see the low viewer people and it's hard to get discovered. They say discoverability is very difficult on this website. There's also a recommended view. I don't know if you could get that on anonymous, but like, at least for me, since I have an account, I have like a recommended view, and then so it'll bring up, like if I look at recommended, it shows like some piano streams that I know, or like there's a harp streamer. Harp is very popular on this website, fun fact. So is classical guitar.
Are there any oboists?
So
other than
oboe,
dance?
I haven't seen an oboe really on this
How do you do a
website.
stream when you're like, if you're taking your oboe out, it's such a production.
Yeah, so
Like you
some
can't
instruments
have a
just
conversation.
yeah, that's one thing. Some instruments don't seem to lend super well. Like I saw a trumpet player, but like it didn't go that well. I saw the bassoonist, right, but I haven't seen him in a while. I saw a French horn once.
If you had a chamber ensemble, you could do it.
Yeah.
You could do
but then-
like a wind quintet stream, or even like a duo, like an instrument and piano stream, and you would just have like a big book. You need a huge book of gig music and like
Yeah.
some nice things that you want to.
I mean,
you want to be your main brand.
When my roommate and I were supposed to have titles like the week after things got canceled here, and I went live the night of my recital, and the two of us just like, he's also an oboist, I guess Dan knows that, and we just like sight read shit. Like we just like we played some like duets, we played some Barrett, we played some like we had people like recommend stuff. So like somebody like sent us some stuff, and some people would like request excerpts. Somebody made us do the Prokofiev though. The
Oh no.
And we were also drinking wine. It was rough. But it was like really fun, and we had a bunch of people. Like that would probably be the thing to do on Twitch.
Yeah, it's
You could do
well.
that.
Yeah, it's hard. I think so.
Like,
For
I think it was probably good that it was on Facebook, because
Yeah, because then your
people
friends are
could just
notified.
click right on it. And Twitch,
So-
you'd have to build up a whole new audience.
And Facebook and Twitch are competing things. So I've seen violin actually is fairly popular, but a lot of the violin streamers will like play along with tracks, which has like questionable copyright. And I myself have mixed feelings about doing that, because on one hand, great, like good, they're getting viewers. Like there's this one very successful one. She like went to Yale for masters, so she's like really good. And she's like the concertmaster of the Huntsville Symphony in Alabama. Then she's like streaming video game music on Twitch, and she'll just like put on the video game track and then like play along with it. And I have like mixed feelings about that, right? Because but she's doing it, and she is very popular for it, and people really like it. So
Like if people enjoy it, I don't know how you.
Reminds me of one time I went to a club in Dallas, and there was a live saxophone player playing along with the club music up on a platform. It was So cool.
I'm surprised there aren't a lot of sax players on Twitch for some reason. I've only seen a couple. I feel like it'd be really popular. Yeah, it's a very interesting environment, and it's relatively tight knit. Like I see a lot of the same names pop up.
That's kind of cool.
I'll have to investigate the writing thing and
Yeah, let me see is there a writing category?
because I've been just like pouring myself into my poetry in the absence of live music. And
I know there's a lot of painting and like visual art that people do on Twitch. There's also a lot of computer like art and
There's a
computer
writing
creative
tag, but there isn't a writing category. So I think it would fall into just chatting. They have, which is what people use to just like talk streams. There's also a makers and crafting category.
Yeah, put it in
which
makers
is for
and
people who
crafting.
like
right.
make stuff, which is very cool. I haven't seen them.
I could compose poetry on the fly or something.
Yeah.
In college one time I actually wrote a poem to the hot dog vendor because I was poor, had no money, and I was hungry. It was like, if I wrote you a poem, could you give me a hot dog?
Did it work? Oh, that's so cool.
That's great.
It was great. It actually came out well. I was like, what is
Did you keep the poem?
I did. I've been looking for it and I can't find it anywhere.
That's too bad.
But I know it's somewhere. And I can like vaguely remember like the feeling of the words. Like I could maybe reconstruct it.
Eventually it'll turn up, I'm sure.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah,
I
live
also
streaming
have
is
several boxes of books at my parents' house from when I moved to Texas. So like things are just kind of everywhere. Anyway.
live streaming is fun. I feel like more people should get into it because, again, classical is pretty under tapped, and not that it has a huge audience, but I think it has potential just because there's very few like people who willingly do a lot of classical. Like I saw one piano, like there are definitely a lot of classically trained people in there, but I saw one person who was just like, yeah, don't request classical from me, which is like a little sad.
I think the audience just isn't there. It's probably just because, like, if more classical audiences were on there.
That's true too. Like the audience skews very young and very gamer. So there aren't that many like people who like not all the people even know that there's music on there too. So
I realized I don't know why I'm still live on the